Hey, what's going on there, everybody? It's Antonio checking in. And today I want to talk about, to let you guys know that the universe has chosen you to build your mental wealth and for you to increase your manifestations. Now, when I say that with the mindset of being able to will what you want in reality. You know, I say that to say we got to cultivate, the life that you desire, the life of your dreams. It might take, who knows, but wherever you at, you can start today. Especially if you're already watching content like this, it means that you believe that you can manifest, that you can increase your mental wealth, and don't let this manifestation community, that spiritual community, don't let that make you think that you got to live so holy. You can create the life that you desire. If you desire to have a bunch of sports cars, if you desire to travel the world with your family, if you desire to have restaurants or a watch collection, whatever you want to do, or be a DJ, a musician, or actor, or maybe you want to own your own, landfill to dump trash. I don't know, but the universe has chosen you, and you know it, because it's usually when you feel like the universe has chosen you, the everyday work life, the everyday life, it just don't make sense no more. And yeah, you might have to do it, but that's only because you're prepping yourself physically, mentally, for the next stage, the next phase. It's a whole life out here. And just think, like, wherever you from, you can leave that city or town and never come back and just enjoy life. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I'm saying, like, it's a whole world out here to be explored. It's a lot of adventures. And I think a lot of times it's that notion around, or that aura around spirituality, around manifestation, that's like, oh, you gotta be holier than thou, or you gotta be so perfect. But one thing on this journey that I will say has helped is definitely discipline. Now you choose. Now first you gotta define what discipline means to you. You got to define what discipline means to you, and then you have to apply that discipline in different areas of your life, and it's gonna be some obstacles and hurdles that come with implementing discipline when you have a habit of doing things a certain way. So don't beat yourself up if once you recognize what discipline means to you and you start to implement discipline in your life, 1 or 2 days you might have it right, then 2-3 days you might be off course. But long as you know in your heart of hearts that, hey man, this is what discipline means to me, and this is what I gotta do, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I get the life that I desire. And when I get the life that I desire, I'm gonna continue to expand my consciousness, continue to expand my discipline. What is that? What kind of car is that making that noise? But you are definitely chosen. But now it's time to increase your mental wealth, and it just basically comes with replacing habits that don't serve you. But a lot of times it's easier said than done. So a lot of those habits that don't serve us, we continue to do them because we're familiar with them. Like, even with me, like, one of my discipline things that I want to work on is eating a tad bit more lighter, more cleaner. So I kind of got in my mind frame what food digests good with me. But some days I fall off track. Let's be real. Like, and I notice how I would fall off track. Like if I don't get enough sleep, you know, which is important to me, I notice the next day I'm a little tired, a little groggy, and my decision-making skills or my discipline is down a little bit. You know, I might choose to eat a little bit more junk that day. I might choose to, you know, it just, but if I get enough sleep, and I'm just using the sleep for me because I notice that when I don't get enough sleep versus when I do. When I get enough sleep, it's like I wake up early in the morning. I have time to just really meditate. And after I meditate, have time to just sit there and contemplate the meditation. I take my time to get ready. You know, it just, everything seems to flow in a pattern. And sometimes, like, all it takes is a disruption in pattern that messes you up. But the fact that I know that the universe has chosen me to carry out my mission and my task and all of that, I know that this is an ongoing thing. You know, I know that this is an ongoing process. So it's like one step back for me can allow me to move 10 steps forward. But I know a lot of people say 10 steps forwards and a few steps backwards. But every time I slip up or I feel like I take a dip, I rise a little higher, which is good for me. But, you know, the universe choosing not just me, but you to carry out your mission and task so you can help the next person out without even physically helping. Just helping them out by being you. And just building up this reservoir of mental wealth, you know. I don't know the severity of anyone's trauma who's watching this, so I can only talk about my experience. And based off my experience, I realized it's a lot of things that I had to gut out my mental. And when you gut that out, you know, when you really start to heal, when you really start to, you know, do the inner work, like I said in previous videos, it shows in your demeanor, it shows in your spirit, it shows in your aura, you know. I just saw a podcast earlier with Mel Robbins and Jay Shetty. And Jay Shetty said, instead of being interesting, be interested. So when you talk, instead of being like trying to be this interesting individual, just be interested in what people got going on. You know, be interested in what life has to offer. Because when you're interested in something, it catches your attention. Just like I'm interested in self-development. You feel me? I'm interested in how can I plant these seeds internally. You know, I'm interested in the universe choosing me to shine a little brighter. I'm interested in how can this content reach the right people. I'm interested in the people that this content reach. I'm interested in the the people that resonate with this. So it's a lot that comes with, you know, being a better version of yourself, but it's not about perfection. It's not about being super holy. You know, like I say in all my videos, man, you can be lit. You feel me? If you want to manifest your life as a DJ, you're going to be lit. You can host clubs and manifest. It's not a limit. The only limit we have is ourselves. So don't let people think that, oh, so you manifesting, you building your mental wealth up, that you got to be just oh so perfect and this holy person. No. This life is meant to grow and feel and express and connect. You know, don't let people put y'all in a box based off of a belief. And that's just what I believe, because I believe in having a good time. I believe in turning up. I believe in being lit, but at the same time, I also believe in handling your business. I believe in developing self. You feel me? And that's what I feel would make anybody a well-rounded person. Because if you just too disciplined, too perfect, people are going to be like, you trying to... It just seems too scamish. You know, we all humans, we have flaws, but it is what it is, man. So let's build this mental wealth, you know, through this meditation, through reflection, through journaling, through our gratitude. And, you know, it may be ways that you develop self that's not necessarily researchable on Google. You know, you can't say what will and what won't work for a person, you know, but there are studies that shows that certain things do work and certain things will aid you into, you know, other levels of consciousness, new levels of awareness. And that's all I'm here for. Now, whatever you do and take that as, that's on you. But the universe has chosen you, man. So let's increase your mental wealth. Let's increase your manifestation, because this is what we're here for, man. We're here to make the most out of it. We're not here to pay bills and die, man. We're not here to sit here and work for companies for 15, 20 years just to retire at 70, 80. No, that's not living. But to each his own. So y'all be good. Y'all be great. Y'all already know. Until next time. Peace.